2026 has had a solid start to the year in terms of JRPG releases, but it's about to get even better. So in this video, I'll be sharing the 15 most exciting JRPGs still to come in 2026. So the first game we have up is Lumen Tale Memories of Trey. This is a creature collecting RPG, and in the game it follows Trey, who awakens with no memories and sets out across Talia to uncover the truth in a world split between the rival hemispheres of Logos and Mythos. The world is very Italian inspired and it has over 140 Animon, the creatures in the game, 13 elemental types to catch, train, and battle with. It mixes exploration with both 1v1 and 4v4 battles, and players use a device called the Holokin to catch Animon in the field. Players can also craft items, cook food, and customize the Ana space, a personal hub where captured Animon reside and train. Multiplayer features include PvP battles, Animon trading, and card trading. My buddy Chicken Fillets talked about this game in our Next Fest collab video, and he really loved it. There's a demo available on Steam right now if you want to give it a try, and this is definitely one to keep an eye on. Next up, we have Echo Generation 2. This is a sequel to the 2021 game, which I've praised nonstop on this channel. I called that game Stranger Things the JRPG, and this seems to be taking it to the next level with little kids in a lab with superpowers. In the game, you play as Jack, an ordinary dad trapped in a mysterious dimension between his hometown of Mapletown, and he battles extraterrestrial enemies with quirky allies while trying to get back home. And this is the dad of the main character from the first game. And the battle system is transitioning from strictly turn-based combat to turn-based with a deck-building element. It features over 100 different cards to craft combos, unleash attacks, and summon allies. Now what's cool is in the game there's 6 playable characters: Jack, Boulder, Sister M, Noliva, Strix, and Anata Z, each with their own unique deck and playstyle, introduced through the character-focused chapters. Now I like the first game a lot, but I actually think this one is shaping up to be even better. I played the demo and loved it. It has a more detailed art style, and I really like this deck-building combat a lot more than the previous game's timing-based attacks. I think this is going to be a sleeper hit JRPG that you should not skip. Next up, we have The Adventures of Elliot. This is an action RPG developed by Square Enix's Team Asano, who created Octopath Traveler and the Bravely Default series, making this their first HD 2D game with an action combat system. In the game, it follows adventurer Elliot and his fairy companion Faye as they discover a doorway of time that sends them across 4 distinct eras spanning 1,000 years. Now in the game, Elliot carries 7 different weapon types: a sword, boomerang, bombs, hammer, spear, bow, and a chain scythe, with stronger versions of each unlocking more powerful special attacks later in the game. And the weapons can be customized with magicite found throughout your journey to change their elemental properties and effects. And Faye can be controlled independently using the right stick and also with a co-op feature using the second controller. And side content in the game includes cat collecting, Faye's magic lessons minigames, and full fast travel between the different eras. Now as of the recording of this video, early impressions just dropped and they've been pretty positive across the board. Even more exciting, a new demo just dropped with save data carrying over to the full version of the game. So if you want to give it a go and see if it's for you, now's the perfect time. Are you guys tired of me talking about Grand Blue Fantasy Relink yet? Well, we got the new expansion coming out in July, so I had to include it in at least one more list. Now, this major expansion to Grand Blue Fantasy Relink is releasing on Switch 2 for the first time, and this expansion includes all new content. It adds 6 new playable characters, bringing the total roster to 29, each with their own unique playstyle. Now, in this game, it introduces the Conflux, an all-new roguelike mode with unpredictable challenges and enigmatic powers, plus new co-op quest tiers and additional bonuses. And master traits are added here to push characters beyond their previous limits, along with summons to expand tactical options. And they've also added primal bursts, which are large-scale party attacks tied to summons like Proto Bahamut. And now the game supports full crossplay across all platforms, and for Switch 2 it includes local co-op for up to 4 players. Now, if you already own Relink, this upgrade will cost you $30, but if you're a brand new player just wanting to dive in for the first time, it's $60. Now, if the base game is anything to go off of, I think this is going to be well worth the asking price. Echoes of Aincrad is a brand new action RPG set in the Sword Art Online universe, developed by Game Studio Inc., really that's their name, and published by Bandai Namco. The game's set on the first and second floors of Aincrad, and an original character named Iori, and returning faces like Kirito, Asuna, and Argo. It's confirmed to be the first Sword Art Online game to receive a full English dub, and combat is built around mastering dodges, parries, and well-timed attacks with a partner system drawn from a cast of 12 different characters. The game had some early impressions that seemed generally positive, but I'm curious to see more about this this game before I'm totally sold on it. Now what's interesting is they're going to be adding a death game mode meant to simulate the high stakes from the show. Basically, it's a permadeath mode that deletes your save file if you die, which unlocks after completing the main story. And they're also going to release a 110-minute promotional animated film called Unanswered Butterfly, which will be available alongside the game produced by Polygon Pictures. This is the biggest question mark on this entire list for me, but hopefully it'll be cool. Blue Reflection Quartet is the definitive compilation from Gus containing all 4 entries in the Blue Reflection series. It includes console RPGs Blue Reflection and Blue Reflection Second Light, and adapted versions of the anime Blue Reflection Ray and the formerly mobile-only Blue Reflection Sun. Now, Blue Reflection Sun, which was shut down in 2024, has been fully reconstructed as a console experience using Second Light's battle system, which will be available for the first time outside of Japan. And the Ray anime has been re-edited into a playable experience with 3D models for key characters, plus a new prologue and epilogue to connect it to the rest of the series. Second Light gains 8 additional party members from Ray and Sun, plus quality of life improvements like faster movement, increased battle speed, and event skip. It also includes a series-wide reference database with event flowcharts, character relationship charts, and correlation charts across all 4 games. I really enjoyed Second Light. It's a really cool, charming game with a lot of fun systems. So I'm curious to see how the anime and mobile games get adapted into console experiences, and the entire series is playable in any order. A perfect entry point for new fans or a complete revisit for returning ones. Now, real quick, before we continue, this is not an ad, but I wanted to remind you that next week is my showcase Indie Quest. We'll be sharing updates on the most exciting upcoming indie JRPGs like Sacrifier, Alabaster Dawn, Edge of Memories, and tons more. Plus, we're going to have 6 world premiere game reveals that I think are going to blow you away. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single reveal. All right, back to the video. Brigandine Abyss is the latest entry in the cult PS1 strategy RPG franchise from HappyNet and NIS America. And this has an all-star dev team directed by Makoto Yamamoto from Sengoku Basara, supervision by Masayuki Horikawa from Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, character designs from Junko Kawano of Suikoden and Ayuden Chronicle, and Niji Hayashi from Fire Emblem Heroes, and finally music by Ray Kondo from Fire Emblem Three Houses. And the game is going to feature 6 different story campaigns and 2 gameplay phases, an organization phase for managing troops and resources, and then an attack phase for turn-based hex grid battles. And the mission mode includes 24 playable factions, each with unique win conditions, promising hundreds of hours of gameplay. Now, this game had a lot of positive buzz coming out of PAX East, so this is definitely one to keep an eye on if you're a strategy RPG fan. Now, probably the most anticipated game on this list for most people is going to be Trails in the Sky Second Chapter. It's a direct sequel to the Trails in the Sky First Chapter remake, continuing the fully 3D reimagining of Neon Falcom's legendary Sky Arc. It picks up immediately after First Chapter's conclusion, which I absolutely won't spoil, leaving Estelle to travel across the continent while uncovering the conspiracy of Ouroboros along the way. And it retains its hybrid action and turn-based battle system, while adding new crafts, S-crafts, and the Brave Rush mechanic, where multiple party members can now use multi-craft attacks in quick battle. It also features updated visuals from the original, reorchestrated music, and full English and Japanese voice acting. And what's cool is if you have clear data from the first game, you get costumes for Estelle and Joshua. I absolutely loved First Chapter's remake. It really blew me away. And I never actually played Second Chapter back in the day, so I'm super curious to see how this story arc concludes. Next up, we have Edge of Memories. This is an action RPG for Midgar Studio known for Edge of Eternity. And this also has a star-studded creative team. Character designs from Raita Kazama of Xenoblade Chronicles X fame, writer Sawako Natori from Nier, vocalist Emmy Evans from Nier and Nier Automata, and composer Yasunori Mitsuda from Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. And the game is set on the continent of Avarice, consumed by the Corrosion, a plague turning wildlife and humans into grotesque abominations. In the game, you play as a lion, a soul whisperer who awakens the ability to control the corrosion within her own body. A lion can transform into a powerful black beaster using the corrosion within herself. In the game, you can traverse across the world on a swift Nekaru mount. Elemental skills from allies can destroy objects, and ally hacking can solve puzzles and access secret areas. And the game has fast-paced action combat with 3 swappable skill loadouts for party customization on the fly. And to me, the game looks absolutely stunning for a quote-unquote indie game. Again, make sure to tune into Indie Quest on May 28th for a brand new update on the game. Emery Hearts is a retro-inspired action JRPG set in a vibrant voxel world where humans and machines struggle to survive. You play as Lug, an ordinary boy with the power to shape the fate of both. The game has real-time combat with a variety of weapons, special abilities, magic, and items. There's deep progression with weapon upgrading and evolution, amulets, and full stat development for both body and mind. The game feels like a living world filled with secrets, optional challenges, and rewards for thorough explorers. Many have compared the game to Secret of Mana and Secret of Evermore, but obviously with a more modern combat style, and I also feel like it has a lot of Final Fantasy VII vibes from the story and world. Now, I played its Next Fest demo and I was genuinely blown away. Maybe my favorite game I tried at this last Next Fest. And honestly, I didn't even finish it because I was enjoying it so much and I didn't want to ruin the experience because I know I'm going to play it at launch. Again, we'll have a cool update for this game at IndieQuest, so be sure to tune in. The latest entry in the Fire Emblem series, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave, releases this year for Nintendo Switch 2. The story is set around the Heroic Games, a gladiatorial competition hosted by the Divine Sovereign, promising to grant the wishes of the victors. And participants come from all walks of life with deeply personal reasons for competing, and it appears to be set in the world of Fire Emblem Three Houses. A figure resembling an older Sothis appears in the reveal trailer, sparking a lot of speculation. And of course, we have that classic turn-based tactical gameplay with a Roman-inspired Colosseum setting, plus exploration segments shown in the earlier trailers. This is the game we probably know the least about on this list, as they haven't really shown much for it. No specific date has been confirmed either, but likely summer or fall of this year based on Nintendo's release cadence. I'm a massive Fire Emblem fan, so I cannot wait to play this. Kyoto Xanadu is a spiritual successor to Tokyo Xanadu from Falcom, set in an alternate modern Japan where Kyoto is the capital and a monster-filled parallel world is bleeding into reality. The game follows Rei, a student who joins Hirasaka Academy, a school for eligibles with awakened powers, tasked with conquering a dungeon called Xanadu, set to be the origin of the Otherworld. The game features unique dual-dimension combat. You'll be battling in 2D side-scrolling action, and then it shifts to 3D battles when you go through different gates, with full 3D combat using a diverse set of skill attacks and technical maneuvers. And the game goes between these dungeon crawling segments and studying at school, not to mention some free time to explore Kyoto, with the school class segments strengthening your soul device weapons through a card-based system. Now, I absolutely love Tokyo Xanadu. It's a real hidden gem, and this entry changes quite a bit with its 2D segments. It's not fully 3D when you're walking around the city or in the dungeons. I'm not totally sure how to feel about that, but Falcom hasn't really let me down yet. And what is frustrating is this has a release date in Japan, but a Western publisher hasn't been announced yet, so I guess we're just gonna have to wait and be patient with this one. Lost Helden has been a long time coming, but hopefully the wait will be worth it. It's a classically inspired JRPG from Artisan Studios, who made Super Neptunia RPG and Astria Ascending. It features a gorgeous hand-painted art style, and it sort of has these 3D environments that look like living paintings. And that's thanks to art direction by Takeshi Oga from Gravity Rush fame, and a full soundtrack by Hitoshi Sakamoto, a Final Fantasy Tactics and Valkyria Chronicles fame. Now, the story follows twins Seifel and Let in the world of Era, governed by the religion of Unio, where every person is bound to one of the 7 deadly sins. Seifel is born without sin, where Let is bound to all 7. And combat uses a phased battle system blending real-time action with turn-based deliberation. Timing, positioning, elemental attribution, and whole team commands are definitely something you have to keep in mind. There's 21 job classes, a full ability tree, a modular equipment system, and dynamic weather that affects combat, NPCs, and exploration. And I gotta be honest with you, the studio's last few games have been pretty mid, but this one looks very promising. Super curious to try this one out when it finally comes. Parasite Mutant is a sci-fi horror RPG set in the distant future. It's a clear love letter to Square's beloved cult classic Parasite Eve. You play as Nova, a psionic agent sent to an abandoned city full of horrifying creatures. The game uses a combat system that mirrors Parasite Eve almost 1-to-1. You'll build up meters, and then you can attack, you can use items, you can use range attacks, you have guns, knives, all kinds of cool abilities. It also has really interesting exploration and puzzle segments. There was this one moment in the demo I played where the character had to find a phone, but then they had to find a dead body to use its face unlock feature. It was kind of a cool and unique gimmick. And it features this semi-realistic anime art style with optional retro and CRT filters to simulate that late 90s feel. And there's also a full outfit customization system for the main character. And like I mentioned, I played the demo actually a few times and really enjoyed it. Not super challenging, but I love the game's vibe and I can't wait to dive into the full version. And finally, we have Sacrifier. This is a pixel art RPG that mixes real-time and turn-based combat inspired by 90s JRPGs. In the game, the combat lets players build chains by stringing attacks together, targeting individual enemy body parts for more damage, and exploit a 3 affinity system reminiscent of Vagrant Story. And the game has a dual world structure. The underground city of Antioch contrasted with the spirit paradise of Erebus, blending sci-fi and fantasy in a really cool way. And the original soundtrack is composed by Motoi Sakuraba of Star Ocean and Tales of fame, alongside full professional voice acting. Currently, it's sitting at nearly 200,000 wishlists, one of the most wishlisted indie JRPGs that there are out there. And we're actually gonna have a super cool update for Sacrifier, so if you're interested in that game, you definitely don't want to miss IndieQuest on May 28th. And if you have no idea what IndieQuest is, be sure to check out this trailer right here to get an idea of what you can expect from the showcase.